Welcome to Fiction Fridays. I read a fiction book once a week, and this is this week's. So this is part of a series. It's brand new, just barely came out. This was recommended on the library's main page, and I absolutely was just fascinated by the title and the cover art, and I was like, you know what? I'll try it. So I'm gonna mispronounce a lot of things because this is a lot of Spanish. So we got Los Monstros? I don't think that's how you're supposed to pronounce that. Felice and the Wailing Woman by Deanna Lopez. This book was so good. So this is a kid's book, and sometimes kids' books I can't get on board with. Percy Jackson I've officially just given up because I'm like, I don't like it. It's not it for me. This book, so good. Oh my god. The writing is so much fun. Is the plot horribly complicated? No. Kind of dig that though. And it's just fun. Because the world's just a little bit off. But nobody questions it. Nobody's like, how did the magic system for this work? Because it's a kid's book. You just roll with it. And it's just so good. If you don't know the legend of the Wailing Woman, she has a name in Spanish that I always mispronounce. But basically what the urban legend is that a woman ends up drowning her children in a river, and I think she ends up drowning herself, and then she haunts said river. And I think it's always been rivers, but maybe it might also just be bodies of lakes and stuff. I don't know. I know it was an episode of Supernatural at some point that I was watching with my husband on one of our anniversary trips, and it was like, this is scary with a river behind us. Because the place we stayed at had a river right outside of our bedroom, and it was like, oh my god. But anyways, this book is so much fun. I think there's talks that there's going to be multiple books in this world, because this story follows our main character here, Felice, obviously, and then we have Rooster, whose dad is a devil, and he runs a nightclub in this town. It's just so much fun. I want to know what happens with him. And then we have, I think it was Ava, and her mom is an owl. And how, I think it was an owl witch, and I'm like, I want to know more. I don't know that myth that well, that urban legend, I don't know it that well. And this story is just so much fun. It has a lot of Spanish culture to it. And I don't know if it's all just Mexican culture, then kind of Mexican American culture. Cause especially right around the border, there's a lot of commingling of the cultures. But it reminds, we have some neighbors at my dad's house that are from Venezuela, and they totally talk like this, where they just flip between languages all the time. And I think that happens for a lot of people with a lot of different languages. Sometimes just a specific word just fits better from the other one. I wouldn't know. I'm not super good at learning other languages, but it's just so much fun when they'll just be spontaneous random Spanish words in here. And I've totally had that happen in real life where they just flip. They're just English, English, Spanish, English, English, English. And it's just, I find it endearing because it's I have to know the Spanish words. I know some of them. And it's so much fun. I love that. It's just a random little quirk that's just fun. And I feel it's so representative in this book, because that's totally how, from my experience, people have been. They just randomly will have Spanish words mixed in with English, and it's not too bad. This book, you don't need to go and have Google Translate telling you what the words are. You can context clue your way through it if you don't know Spanish. I knew some of the words, but not all of the words, and it's been over a decade since I learned Spanish, so it's not horribly complicated, but if you want to know, you might need Google around. But it was just so much fun to learn about a different culture, because there is a lot of Spanish culture here. Again, I think it's mostly Mexican culture. I don't know though. I feel it was Spanish in the Mexican context. I don't think it was from the other Central America general region of countries, but I think it also takes place in Texas, so you've got that kind of, or New Mexico or something, where it's a mix of both. But either way, it is just, it's definitely that kind of vibe. It's got a Mexican culture vibe to it, and it's so good. The foods they talk about, you want to go learn what it is and try it for yourself, because you're you're saying that it's the best thing ever. What is it? I don't know. And trying other foods can sometimes be really fun and really scary, because a lot of Mexican treats that I tried when I was in Spanish classes would have spice to it. And it's like, listen, my heritage of ancestry of the land of bland is coming in strong right now. I'm gonna die. Like, you get a sucker and you're like, oh, this is pretty good, this is pretty good. And then you hit chili powder and you're like, what the fuck? Like, I can't handle that. But a lot of the other foods are like really good. The Venezuelan neighbors we've tried some of their food and it is like the best thing ever. Like when she makes food, oh my God, it is like the best thing ever. Is it super spicy and like your belly is gonna hurt and your mouth is on fire? Yes. Does it also taste like the best thing ever? Also yes. So like, again, I want to know about these foods and like the story is just so much fun as you go. Like just it's kind of predictable, but like it's a kid's book, so it's fine. But the writing is just so much fun. The author did such a good job telling the story and like the characters do come to life. They all have their own little personalities and like you want to know what happens, and I hope that the other two characters are gonna have theirs. I think it's supposed to be a thing. I've heard about it, but like I want to know more about this magical town and like why did he think that planting peppers in the potholes was the thing to do? I would love to know the logic. Like it's just so quirky and random that it's just such a good book. It's one of those that like as I'm purging books from my shelves that I just like I'm never gonna read, this is one, I've read it, I would read it again and I want to go buy my own copy because it is so good. It's just such a fun story. Like, I think everybody should read through this at some point. If you want just like a fun, casual, easy weekend read, this is fantastic. And I hope the author writes more because she is so good at it. I love her story. I love her writing style. I love the world she's creating. Like, just that uniqueness to it is so good. I hope she writes more, and I hope they come out soon because this was so good. And plus the art is just like absolutely gorgeous. And like, it's a nice sized book, but like, it's just, it was so much fun to read through. So anyways, I would love to hear what your thoughts are on this book in the comments down below. Speaking of books, did you know that I write those too? You wanted to check out mine if you wanted to maybe? I do have a blog where you can find that. I have published 3 books and my 4th one is coming out very soon. I usually talk about my writing process Monday through Thursday, so keep an eye out as I work on my latest projects. And then, of course, when they are announced, I will let you know and you can buy them and it'll be a magical time. Until next time, I'll see you all soon.